Hello, this is the One Episode Rule podcast about first impressions, week 2 of the JoJo retrieval arc.
Yeah. Joey
Still
is currently
happening.
missing somewhere off the coast of Oregon. We're swimming around trying to find our friend.
See, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece all had rescue arcs at some point. So
Yeah, we're gonna find out that JoJo was shipped somewhere in a big stupid vase full of evil purple gas. So yeah,
Tomorrow's interested in them.
So yeah, how are you guys?
Tired.
I'm pretty good. I'm Blackle. I'm also tired. What did I do this weekend? I hung out mostly. I started playing Oxenfree, which was fun.
Cool.
Kind of the game I would be into. The only annoying thing is that you have to walk around a lot with the really, really bad controls. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Do I go now? Is it my turn? Hi, I'm Louis. I'm fucking exhausted, guys. Like, holy shit.
We're gonna have to amputate.
I haven't done anything except venture into entrepreneurship and capitalism. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing, I guess. It's very draining.
Those shirts are cool, though.
Thanks.
But so yeah, you guys want some news?
Yeah, tell me the news.
Maybe it'll perk you up a little. I caught that Castlevania Nocturne trailer.
Oh yeah, I did
the other day. This. And it's looking about tight as fuck. Looks pretty good. Richter doesn't look like what I thought Richter would look like, but then I went back to confirm my bias and realized that Konami doesn't know what Richter looks like either.
Yeah,
because every portrait of him is different. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And yeah,
I would make a Castlevania joke, but I know nothing about it.
I'm excited about that show. I need to finish season 3 of the previous show.
I need to watch any of it.
I highly recommend it. It's good.
Yeah, it's been on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but definitely.
And in terrible, disdainful news, it seems as though it sounds like the Bandai Namco is quite conservative, given their fucking panicked scrubbing of any mention of the 2 leads from Witch from Mercury being married at the end of the series, after a voice actress expressed how pleasant the idea was in an interview.
I'm not supposed to know this.
What do you mean I'm not supposed to know this?
You
think I have no predictive ability?
Maybe they don't get together.
Yeah,
maybe one of them dies.
Yeah, it's up to interpretation. At least according to the fucking corporate dinosaurs at Bandai Namco. I think everybody else has agreed that they're together.
Laughs in chorus on me.
But yeah, same situation. It's far too late to take it back at this point.
Yeah.
But yes, shame on the cowardly executives.
Shame.
Yeah, this really is just another case of Japanese company boardroom dinosaurs. It's a problem that keeps rearing its head. So I figured I would dig something out of the old steamer trunk where we keep viewer suggestions.
Yay.
For this episode. So we're going to go with Bokurano. I have no idea what this is about. I just picked it based on its name. And the fact that I want to save some of the other shit in there because I have approximate knowledge of it, and I want everybody here to get mad at it. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if Sword Art Online was Evangelion?
No.
Good.
You know
You
what?
shouldn't ask
Let me
that.
say I have not.
You know what's weird is this predates Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's crack this open because there's some stuff to talk about, but we have to get through a rundown, and there's like 15 characters. Oh yeah, a blurb. Does anybody want to read this blurb?
Not really.
No.
Fine, I'll fucking read the.
Fine, I'll read it. I can read it. As 15 children at a summer camp enjoy their carefree vacation together, they stumble upon a small cave near the beach. The group finds a mysterious room deep within its caverns, where they meet a strange man who calls himself Kokopelli. The man invites the children to play a game that involves taking turns controlling a robot to protect the Earth against aliens. Thinking it might be an interesting computer game, all but one of the children sign a contract agreeing to play. Later that day, the giant robot appears in person and the children are teleported into the cockpit, where they find Kokopelli, who pilots a fight against a similar robot creature that has appeared nearby. After winning the battle, Kokopelli tries to apologize but is interrupted as the children are teleported back to the ground in the midst of the carnage. As the bewilderment following the fight settles, the robot suddenly disappears and the children are left scared and confused. Despite seeming like a harmless game at first, the children never anticipated the stakes of this game and how their pasts would intertwine with their decisions going forward.
That's pretty much the first episode. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Do we have?
Yeah.
I
We're
suppose we ought to examine it a little further. But,
Also, what if instead of Kokopelli it was Kokopelli?
Kokopelli.
Who wants to play Kokopelli?
Kokopelli, by the way, is like an Ainu word for like a forest spirit. You know, like a little person or a leprechaun.
Interesting.
You know. But anyway,
Lucky Charms. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. I'm Irish and I can't do an Irish accent.
So yeah, we open on a just beautiful like Japanese island life. And on one of the presumably one of the smaller islands off of Kyushu or something. And yeah, so about 15 middle schoolers are just sort of crawling the beach because they've been given some free time to sort of hang out, and they're bothering crabs and stuff, and we get some moments with each of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of girls. One of them goes out swimming. One of the boys clearly has a little crush on her. Because he's just like, isn't it too dangerous to go out that far? And she's like, what's it to you? They spent some time talking. One of the kids is calling back home on, it's always weird because it's difficult to tell the time period of anime a lot of the time, except for one element, and that element is phones. Because you go back far enough, you start getting flip phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has a funky Motorola.
Yep.
But yeah, one of the kids' sisters is there, and they're all very enraptured with how cute she is, except for him, who's just like, yeah, I wish the fucking tides would take her away, and then they get into an argument about that. The most important part of this scene, I would think, other than just giving you the vibe of kids, having good beach time fun, is that they bought some firecrackers to fuck around with because it's summer. Just the little spark wands, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls uses one earlier to have some fun, but eventually they all turn around because one of the boys is pointing one of his at the ground for a while, and they're just like, what are you doing over there? And one of the other kids is just like, you probably ought to not come look. Because he's over there
killing a creature.
He's just roasting a crab with it, and they're just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. This kid got problems.
This is a little fucking little demented little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, what's the big problem? If I didn't do this, he'd just get eaten by something. It's just be like, well, that's nature. You're just being a sociopath.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they go to play with fireworks in a more responsible and less crazy fashion, and find out that somebody has just left all of their shit in the tide pool. So it's all duds now.
Worthless, destroyed.
And they're just like, well, shit, I don't want to go back yet. And one of the kids is just like, hey, I heard there's a cave around here. We should explore it.
Let's go in the cave. Let's go inside
like,
the cave. Let's crawl around.
Let's all 15 of us enter a small cave. It surely won't be a problem.
Let's have our own little Ted's Caving adventure. Why don't we?
So yeah, they wander into the cave, and to their credit, the kids in the front, after about 5 minutes of heading in, are just like, we should turn back. This is getting weird. Because yeah, cave. But they notice some light ahead of them, and they go, what the hell is that? And they come into a slightly larger cavern room and realize that there's like a camp pitched here with furniture and a couple of PCs set up, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? Is this like a homeless guy's hideout? And there's silence, but they're thinking, it's just like, what homeless man has like 3 PCs and like enough time and energy to set up a weird cave base?
Mm-hmm.
And while they're discussing this, they hear footsteps behind them, and Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2 comes in. So
yeah.
So he's there with his big round glasses and a hiker's pack and everything, and he's just like, "Oh, looks like I've been found out, huh?"
Uh-oh.
And he's surprisingly casual about it, and so are they.
Just like that.
Because yeah, he's always stumbling over his words because he's just like, "Okay."
I ask him for his name, and he's just like, "Oh my."
But yeah, he lays it out for him. It's just like, I'm actually a game developer, and I came here to this setting for inspiration for my big game. Do you kids want to try it out for me? I need some beta testers. And they're just like, well, what kind of game is it? Man in a cave on a tropical island. He's just like, yes, 15 entities will attack the Earth, and a giant robot of black steel will defend it. They're just like, oh, that sounds cool. It's like, anybody who's interested, touch this thing and tell me your name. And the thing is hilarious because it has like no design about it. It looks like it's a stand designed to hold like an instrument. I don't understand.
It looks like a melted shovel.
It looks like a melted shovel with 4 feet.
Yeah.
He just drags it out there, and he's just like, "Don't laugh. We have to take this seriously,
please."
And yeah, all the kids are just like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's try it." And they all touch it and say their name, and their names appear on the computer, which means it's like a real thing. And he's not as insane as he appears. Except for the 4th grader, because her brother is just like, she doesn't need to play, and the other kids are just like, oh, come on, let her play. And he's just like, she doesn't need to play. This is the same brother who they called an asshole earlier because he was being a pouty little creature. But he may have had some foresight in this case. So yeah, they all touch it, and he's just like, great. And then the screen just fuzzes out like VHS static.
Yeah. And then they're back on the beach.
They start waking up on the beach, and it's dark, and they're just like, what the fuck was that? It's just like, we couldn't have all dreamed the same thing, right? Oh god, we gotta get back. And they start heading back to the lodge. To do that, they have to ascend a pretty long staircase, because from what I understand, like bunch of the Japanese like minor islands are actually kind of mountainous. So they're like really tall. So
Yeah.
to get to the like proper level where civilization is from the beach, you have to climb a pretty fair way. But as they're doing that, they're just like they're talking about it, and then one of them stops still looking at the ocean, and he's just like, am I crazy? Do you see that? Because
Giant Ava.
I'll give them this. They did a good job illustrating the scale because this robot is goddamn enormous. It looks large enough that it would like start like disturbing the natural order of things around it just by being there.
Yeah, like the wind
without
like
moving.
Yeah,
like, it has like a big pocket of dead air and seagulls would start falling to the earth.
Birds hitting it.
But yeah, it's enormous. One of the kids says that it must be what, like 150 meters tall, which is
I think he said 500.
500 meters tall, which is like 15. Like that's a fucking lot.
Like one of the people also like quiz him on like, how do you know that it's?
And he's just
right,
like, I just know.
I just know.
That was like the one joke that stood out to me.
And to be fair, some people do just know. But but yeah, it's fucking Titanic. And we do cut back to like the old couple like running the lodge where the kids are staying, and they have dinner set out, and they're just like, where the fuck are all those kids?
Where are the children? Where'd they go?
And the old man is just like, kids don't want to stop playing at their age, and then he's right. But
yeah.
But yeah, they look at this giant robot, and across they're just like, wait, didn't that guy say there would be enemies? It's just like, where's the enemy? It's just like, oh, isn't that over there? And this really crude 3D model of a giant mechanical spider starts phasing in.
Yeah.
And this is where it all kind of falls apart for me. But
yeah,
it
me
starts,
too.
Yeah, it starts phasing in, and they're just like, "Oh shit, it's the enemy!" And then the screen gets VHS'd again, and suddenly they're somewhere else with Kokopelli, and he's abandoned his glasses, and now he really looks like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid.
He's like in like a skin tight suit thing.
He's wearing like a skin tight lycra suit.
Yeah.
And he's
suit.
And he there's no plugs; it's just suit.
Right.
But he's hovering above
plugs,
them
baby.
always, and he's just like, "Welcome to the cockpit." And in a like, I guess like we don't want to draw a complicated cockpit situation. He just waves his hand, and the walls fade away, so that they're just hovering in the air, looking at this giant spider. And he explains to them that he will defeat the first one, but the rest will be up to them. So they should watch how he fights.
Okay, better figure it out.
This is where the whole vibe falls apart for me, though, because what ensues is one of the slowest, most boring mech fights I have ever seen. I think they were trying to illustrate some of the scale, but it is just so god awful slow, and the robots look so fucking bad.
Yeah.
But eventually he's just like you gotta strike and peel their armor off so you can find their weak spot and crush it. And they're just like, okay, yeah, sure. And the little kid who was burning the crab, I think, was the one
so
who was
excited about like killing.
Just like I love the idea of crushing a weak spot. He's just like, good, I guess. He did not see.
I'm a little worried about you.
Yeah, he did not see the incident with the crab.
Yeah.
And they crush. And he defeats the thing, and then he's just like, you kids, I'm sorry, and they get teleported back to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically the end. There's some interstitial scenes that make it a little better of various people around the island reacting to it, because this is actually happening. So it's like shaking the earth and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if any. I think people can see it.
Like laser beams and stuff, but they can't actually see the thing.
I thought they could actually see the thing. It's not well like telegraphed what the situation is there.
Yeah, I gathered because like the people who were like, oh, like we got to go to the Love Hotel or whatever. Like the guy straight up like looks out into the sea and does not react to the giant like machine out there
initially,
it's
but the
only
second
after
time
it starts moving.
Yeah, but the second time it comes back to him, he's just like, "Look at that shit." So
no, but he's like look, because he saw like the laser beam.
Well, maybe he just
Saw the
fucking
light.
missed it the first time. But
Anyway,
they are.
that's what I'm gathering from it.
It is nighttime, and both robots are pitch black.
That's
So,
true.
but yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. So yeah, this show is like disappointing.
Can I tell you my idea of how to make this show like 10 times better?
Well, let me finish being disappointed, and then you can say that. Because yeah, it set up a pretty good vibe initially, and it didn't look too bad. Like the background art was pretty good. It was, painted by a competent artist, and even the character designs weren't that bad. Although they had some like 2007 like Digimon about them.
Mm-hmm.
Such some like big heads and kind of squinty eyes, but
weird angular jaws.
Yeah.
Which I don't dislike, honestly.
I don't mind it, and it beats Same Face, but
sure.
But it really fell apart whenever they brought out the fucking robots, and a show based around giant robot fights. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Blackwell. What do you think?
My idea of how to make the show a million times better
Mm-hmm.
is I liked the idea of the kids sitting around in a circle with their own like unique chairs. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh man, I was gonna bring up the chairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I was gonna say it would be interesting, and this is my idea. If the show is they are piloting former President Barack Hussein Obama during his presidency.
Okay.
So they're all sitting like in his brain as homunculi in their own chairs, and they have to decide how he's going to handle like certain like political situations.
Blackle, I need you to understand.
Alt-right people don't want you to know.
Blackle, I need you to understand that you have created the film Inside Out.
Yeah.
No, but it's like not because Inside it's about like a kid and her like parents, right?
Well, it's about the concept of everyone has those emotions in your head. That,
yeah.
Blah, blah,
No,
blah.
but they're not emotions.
Piloted.
They're like thinking, breathing people, and they might have their own opinions.
Yes.
But they're also children, so they have to figure out like this grown-up stuff. I don't know. I think it's a good idea.
You want children to make decisions that affect everything on a worldwide level.
You want 15 Japanese children to.
This show is already about that, but like in a really like extreme way, right? Like they're making decisions on how to like fight these creatures and stuff like that. But I'm saying I would like it if it was more like down to earth.
I mean, that crab kid is going to order so many drone strikes.
Yeah.
My God. We're just doing this, huh?
Anyway, I like that we closed the door on this shorter episode because everybody's tired and this show wasn't that good.
Yeah. I feel absolutely nothing for this.
Other than the fact that each of the kids had their own custom chair, and I thought that was fun.
I thought that was was the only good part of the show, I think.
So yeah, if
it
you'd
reminded
like
me of playing Gary's Mod. Gary's Mod has all kinds of chair models in it. It's ridiculous.
It reminded me of like the weird Castlevania obsession with chairs. There's a room in Curse of Darkness that's just all of the chairs you can sit in. It's very strange, but yeah, if you'd like to tell us what your custom chair would look like in the cockpit of a giant black robot, you can tell us about that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
It's one the word, not the number. There we go. I said it. It's
one the number, not the word.
Yeah, we're still on X.
Yeah, we're on X.
For some fucking reason.
Invite us to Blue Sky, please.
Yeah, I'll take that Blue Sky invite on behalf of the podcast.
Yeah, you can DM that to us at OneEpisodeCast.
I really don't like how you need a Blue Sky account to access Blue Sky to like see anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be like that.
It's like being asked to buy something without being able to try it first.
Exactly.
It won't be like that forever. Hopefully.
Are we sure? Are we sure they're not going to pull an Instagram and make it extremely difficult to browse it without an account?
I'm being hopeful.
I think they will do away with the invite shit later on, but I think they expected Twitter to last longer.
Right? Yeah, I think that's my.
They were not prepared.
Apart.
The lifeboats were not prepared for the influx of passengers.